Hi, good afternoon. So my name's David Katerere, and I have a co-host, Leo. So he and I will be driving the ship this afternoon. So today we really want to understand what pharmacopoeia and monographs are, which is which, and why, because there's quite a bit of confusion around these things. And so sometimes we just produce what are pharmacopoeia, but might not be usable for the people that we're trying to target. By the way, you can follow us on Facebook and also on YouTube. We record these seminars and then we edit them into nice little chunks that you're then able to follow and share with other people. We want to thank our supporters. So this afternoon, we are supported by Stargate, Buffalo, Extraction Systems, Nectium, Zembrine. We ourselves are doing this in collaboration with AMS, and we are also grateful for support from Afghan partners, our newest sponsors. So what is a pharmacopoeia? And I'm sure Helen, Dr. Okech will probably tell us a bit more. So just by way of introduction, pharmacopoeia is just a recipe, right? So people actually used to write these things down or just, like in African traditional medicine, that's why that information does not go to the next generation, because we just mix things and then we don't write them down. So one of the reasons why we're having these webinars is so that us as Africans start writing down things so that we can make the drug, say that's the drug as consistently as possible. And there's no batch variation. It has a long history. So we know that the Egyptians were very good at writing things. So they are probably the only Africans who wrote things down. The Khoisan liked to draw. So it's very difficult for us to decode what they were talking about. But the Edward Smith papyrus is considered the oldest in the world. And then there's also this canon of medicine of Avicenna, dating back to 1025. The actual history is interesting, the more modern history. The first pharmacopoeia actually included plants, animals, minerals, also included with the London, the so-called London apothecary pharmacopoeia. They included excrements, which we don't do anymore. Dogs, mice, blind puppies, all of those. So we've come a long way from then. And these are probably the most famous of the pharmacopoeia. The British pharmacopoeia is very famous, not so used anymore. I have here in my office pharmacopoeia that are probably as old as my mother is. My mother is 79 years old. So we have pharmacopoeias that date back to the 1940s, 1960s. Unfortunately, we don't have resources to update these things anymore. So our students continue to use those recipes. And then, of course, in terms of herbal pharmacopoeia, we now have the American Herbal Pharmacopoeia, the British Herbal Pharmacopoeia, the Indian Herbal Pharmacopoeia, and here we have the African Herbal Pharmacopoeia, which is the AMPS project and the one that we are promoting in this series of webinars. The Germans have a homeopathic pharmacopoeia. So there's I'm going to be like Oprah, at the end of this, everybody can have a free African Herbal Pharmacopoeia e-copy. All you need to do is just email us. Okay, so we're giving away the old pharmacopoeia. It's a really good resource, and we are working on the new pharmacopoeia, version number 2 of the African Herbal Pharmacopoeia. So obviously, a lot of you are authors of these monographs. So having a look at where we've been is also a good idea, because we're actually updating some of those things. So our speakers this afternoon are Dr. Helen Okech-Rabah from the US Pharmacopoeia Convention. The US Pharmacopeia, I think, is now 100 years, actually, in 2021.
Yeah, actually, 200.
Oh, 200. 200. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Slightly younger than the British Pharmacopeia, but definitely much older than the African Pharmacopeia. So she's going to really give us a lecture. And I said to her, give us a lecture about the fundamentals of pharmacopoeia and monographs, and who uses them, how are they used, how are they put together? Because we really want to learn from them how they put this together. In future, we might bring in the British Pharmacopoeia or British Herbal Pharmacopoeia people as well. And then Uli is our point man when it comes to collecting samples. So those of you who are authors, you will then, if you're in this part, Southern Africa, Central Africa, our samples will be collected by Mr. Uli Fighter, who is CEO of Percival. So he will talk to us about how, what are the things that you're supposed to be thinking about as you're collecting the samples. And then, then we are going to have, a quick trip around Africa, as we normally do. So with that, I am going to hand over to my colleague. Let me allow you to share. Helen, over to you. Thank you.